Welcome back, guys, to Detail with Jess. On today's episode, I'm taking you through my entire interior and exterior detail process. I hear from a lot of people and would love to hear from you what your process is, but a lot of my clients, they're people that regularly get details. And their comments have consistently been that my details are so detailed and they love it. And it's been a huge selling factor in my business. And that's one of the things that I recommend you really consider when starting your business and pricing your services is like, what type of service do you want to offer? Do you want to offer a faster service and really get multiple vehicles in the day? Or do you want to charge a higher premium for your services and do a more detailed process and only do that one vehicle? Really different things to think about, different numbers to think about, especially when working for just yourself, and things to think about when adding on employees. And I'm kind of at that point right now of really questioning, do I want to step down the details of my details and be able to get more vehicles in a day? Or am I better off just sticking to the premium details and maybe increasing my prices a little bit? But currently averaging about $300 to $400 per day per detail, and I'm really happy with that. I do about 4 a week. Physically, it's all I can really handle. I'm an old lady. Love to hear your feedback as to how detailed your details are and what your thoughts are. But let's get into today's detail. I'm hot, looking fabulous, and holy moly. Hey guys, so today we are detailing this Sequoia, and I thought I'd take you through my entire detail process. And from what I've experienced with the detailers that surround me, this is the thing that makes my details in my business stand out more than so many others. And I don't know what other people are doing in their business, so I literally can't compare. I am just speaking from what my clients have said. So I'm gonna walk you through my entire detail process and show you exactly how I do everything. So right now I'm starting off, there's just like minor dog hair, right? Nothing major, but it is pretty embedded in a lot of the carpeting. I'm going to go through, I do not charge extra for this type of dog hair. This is just kind of like light dog hair. I'm gonna go through and remove all of it right now. When it comes to carpeting, I like to test different tools. So I tried out the pumice and then I tried out the lily brush. And the way that this carpeting is, I don't know if you can see it in the screen there, but if I were to use anything abrasive on this carpet, it's gonna destroy the carpeting and make it look like total garbage, and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of the pumice, but mostly the lily brush and the Tornador here. I'm incredibly anal in my details, and if needed, I will go through and I will hand pick out nearly every piece of dog hair in this vehicle. So let me take you through the rest of the vehicle to show you what we're working with. This is the third row. It's really just a lot of dog hair and a lot of dirt and dust. We had a really heavy pollen season this year, so most vehicles are incredibly dusty right now, but overall it's really not bad at all. But it is a Sequoia, so you know those third row vehicles are just time consuming. I started all of my details with air compression just to get anything on the top that's loose just blown down to the floor so I can vacuum it. The carpeting in the front is a lot higher quality with some more piling, so I can actually use the drill brush on this and it's going to be super effective. And the hair is coming up nicely. For the most part, it's a little bit longer, so it's not really stuck in there. But I'm going through with the drill brush, loosen everything up, blowing it with the Tornador, and then going through with either the lily brush or the pumice. Now I just want to blow everything from the back of the seats, make sure those are totally hair-free, but I'm going to blow everything forward. And once I get this third row and all of the dirt from that forward into the second row, then I'll do a deeper vacuum. I have gotten a lot of comments of people and detailers telling me that I should only vacuum once at the end. And I have tried it. I have tried that process. And let me tell you, it works amazing when it comes to maintenance details. But when vehicles have a lot of dog hair or dirt or dust and just have not been detailed in over a year, that process doesn't work well. So I'll do one deep vacuum and then one final vacuum at the end. All right, so I've gotten a majority of all of the hair out. The carpet's looking amazing. And right now I'm just going through and fine tuning things like this. Getting in all the reels where there's just hair collecting. Now I can tell this vehicle has been detailed before and all the door jambs are really clean, but I noticed not a lot of detailers or vehicles that have been detailed before from somebody else. Not a lot of detailers do the trunk door jambs, and this one is gross. I'd love to hear from you guys. When in the detail do you do your door jambs? I've been playing around with this and I've started doing it after vacuuming. So I'll do a kind of a quick rinse down and degreaser, and then I will go through and do the actual interior cleaning. So that way I don't have any overspray going onto the interior. And then at the very end, I'll just do the quick wipe down with the ONR. Now that I've done a deep vacuum, removed all that dog hair, and I have done a kind of a deep spray down and cleaning of the door jambs, I'm going to go through and do the full hard surface and detail cleaning. I think I shared this with you guys in the last video, but I started using Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner for my interior cleaner, and I love it. And the very last thing I do after I clean all the hard surfaces is I go and I clean the seats. All of the leather and like leather seats tend to collect a lot of dirt in the stitching, so I go through really lightly and just kind of loosen it all up, and then I just air compress it onto the floor. In all of my details, I work top to bottom, so that way I don't forget anything. So the very last thing I do is kind of the floor area and then the pedals. Now that I've cleaned the entire interior, I'm gonna go through and do the windows. Now on windows that don't look like they have been done recently, or seem to be a bit dirty, I tend to go through really lightly with Super Clean first. Because Super Clean is a degreaser, it does break down a lot of the stuff that tends to leave streaks. So I'm going to go through and wipe it down with some Super Clean first before I go through and do a final cleaning with Sprayway. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put dressing on my salad. I'm about 2.5 to 3 hours in, and it is 100 degrees out today with 99% humidity. I'm freaking dying, but it is what it is. It's summertime in Connecticut, so I'm grabbing a really quick bite to eat and then grabbing some Gatorade with some electrolytes real quick to just kind of replenish, and then it's on to the next step. Next, I'm going to get these floor mats cleaned up, and that way I can just put them out in the sun to dry before I put them back in the vehicle. They're pretty clean, which is nice. There's not a whole lot of dirt in them, but they're super crevicey. So sometimes I'll take a toothbrush or a nail brush just to kind of get into the crevices, but for the most part, I'm just going to drill brush these because they're not too dirty, so thank goodness. The final floor mat here is the driver's side floor mat, so this one's going to be the dirtiest, as it always is. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the drill brush along with some either Super Clean or Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner. I use both, and I am drill brushing in one direction, and then I'm reversing the drill brush to kind of get into the crevices in the opposite direction. And I'm going to go through, do this process, and then I will rinse it, and I'll go through and do it one more time and see how much dirt comes off. And typically, if it's coming pretty clean in the second rinse off, that's all I'm going to do. Now that the floor mats are done, the entire interior is done for now, so I'm gonna move on to exterior. So much of detailing, and I'm still not an expert, is all about your process and your chemicals, and so I'm constantly learning what works best. And what I've been doing lately is I've been using Dark Fury by Superior. I'll spray that on the tires first, and then I'll rinse it, and then I go through with Brake Buster and use that to actually go through and clean the tires and wheels. And it's been working pretty good. I don't work on a lot of vehicles that get detailed regularly, so tires are filthy. Then I go through and I do a full bug and tar removal. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is all those heavily targeted areas like the front, the windshield, the mirrors, and right behind the tires, I'm gonna go through and spray on some Dark Fury and let that sit for a minute and then rinse it before cleaning the vehicle. I know I'm not alone here, but most of my clients don't really care too much about the exterior of their vehicles. Like, they're not coming out with lighting and flashlights to see if there's any scratches. I do have one client that is like that. So let me share with you the process I do for those that don't care and the process I do for those that do care. Those that don't care get a really heavy power wash. Like, everything is rinsed off really well. I also, as I said, do the whole bug and tar removal. So anything that could cause any scratching and marring, I make sure to remove that first. But I do a heavy power wash and then I go through and I do a hand wash. Now, I do have one client that is incredibly particular about his exterior and his ceramic coating. So for him, what he gets is the full bug and tar removal, touchless to begin with. Then I go through and I do a foam cannon pre-wash, and then I go through and do the hand wash. As a drying aid, I am using Formula 4 by Superior as a wax, a spray wax, just to kind of help me in the process, especially since it's so hot out today. That'll keep everything beaded up for a little bit longer and give me some time to go through and towel dry everything. Sometimes I watch other detailers and wonder how in the world they're detailing their exteriors so fast. Mine take me some time. When I try to do the whole vehicle, it's just too hot. Like, the paint is too hot. So I have to take it panel by panel and do it one step at a time and dry one side at a time. It's just time consuming. And by the way, I did start with the roof and the windshields first. I didn't video it because my phone is on fire and it keeps shutting down on me. It's way too hot out today. But I'm going to go through and hand dry everything. And then I'll go through with my Tornador and air and just blast out all the crevices and dry those up as well, so I don't get any drips and streaks on the vehicle. Now that the exterior is complete, what I do is I turn my generator off because everything I need power for is now done. So now that the generator's off, I'm going to go through and I'm going to dress the entire interior with the UV Protectant and Shine. What I've been using lately, I was using Chemical Guys VRP. You guys had suggested that, and I didn't have any issues or any complaints with it. But I did go back to Aqua Gloss by Superior just because it's way more cost efficient, and I'm down for cost efficiency. So I'm going to go through, dress everything in detail. At this point, I'm about 5 hours in and starting to question my life decisions of being a detailer. It's so darn hot. My hands hurt. Y'all know how it is. It's some work. burning my fingers off. It's so hot out. The dash is like a gazillion degrees and it's so freaking hot. Once I finished dressing the entire vehicle interior, then I went and I cleaned all the windows once again with spray way. I didn't record because my phone was on fire. So now I'm going to go through and dress. I love to dress all of the floor mats. You guys always ask what I use for a product. I used to use Gummy Fix, but again, it's just really freaking expensive. And I noticed that the results weren't a whole lot different than Aerospace 303. So Aerospace has been my go-to and I like it. My phone shut down because it was so hot, but what I'll do is I'll take a paintbrush and I'll get it in all the crevices. Then I'll wipe it all off with a microfiber towel and blow out any excess with a Tornador. So here's what the interior is looking like now that we're done. If I have leather, I do condition the leather, but these are not quite full leather seats. So what I did is I used Aerospace 303 on those and that worked great. When it comes to detailing, it seems like there's always a gazillion details that you don't even capture in the videos. So I do go through and I spot clean headliners as well in my details. And I'm also cleaning the mirrors, cleaning the sunroof. Nothing goes unmissed. On the exterior, I did go through and dress all of the tires, and then I moved the vehicle forward and cleaned the tires from where it was sitting on the pavement and dress that as well. All in all, by myself, this was a 6-hour detail, not bad at all, and was a $299 detail, plus sales tax. I love what I do. I love what I do. Oh my golly. Convincing myself that I love detailing. I just love it. So that detail took about 6 hours. Took 6 hours. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this detail. I did end up with a tip on this detail, but I forget how much it was because it was a gift. So it was prepaid by the initial client. I think it was like $40 to $50 or somewhere in there. So I ended up with a $340 to $350 on that detail. As always, share your comments and thoughts with me in the comments because I am not ever going to be one of those types of persons that thinks I know everything and the right way to do everything. Your comments, your suggestions have helped me so much in my business and in my details, and I appreciate them more than you'll ever know. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this detail, and if there's any different types of content you want to know, I am getting back to creating weekly videos for you. I'm doing it. It's just been an insane season. It's been so busy. Of course, I'm like double the business what I had last year. So it's been wild, and just trying to keep up with everything has been a lot. But I'm getting back to balance, back to managing time a little better and focus a little bit better. So weekly videos coming back at you. If there's anything you want to see, don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to create a video on it. If you enjoyed this content or any of my other content, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of those thumbs ups. It really helps me and helps my algorithm and helps the videos reach more people. And also hit that subscribe button because weekly videos are coming at you. See you guys next week.